Right. I'm guessing. Well, let's go and see if there's anywhere on the map that we need to go to. That's a no. I mean, the only thing would be possibly to ask this guy about the chalice.
Hi, Andre. Hello, Georgie. What do you make of this cup, Andre? It's a 14th century communion vessel. Spanish, probably. You sure know your onions. Thanks for your help, Andre. You're welcome.
Okay, we're gonna ask it at the church then, because it's a communion chalice, I assume. Let's go ask the priest. See if he has anything to say about the chalice that gives me an extra clue. And plus, it might tell me about these people in here.
Hello again, Father.
Bonjour, monsieur. How pleasant to speak to you again.
What do you make of this chalice?
It certainly looks very old.
About as old as this church, I think.
I was hoping for more than that.
Seems to be an engraving on it.
Yeah? What does it say?
I do not know, it is very tarnished. With your permission, I could try polishing it. I promise I will be very careful.
Okay.
That'd be very good of you.
This shouldn't take very long. Feel free to look around.
Okay, thanks. The priest was still busy with the chalice, so I decided to have another look around the church. A statue of a knight holding a staff and a scroll.
I mean, is the lost dude
A
gonna be
stone
one of
knight
these?
lay at the end of a row of 4. A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling. A huge stained glass window formed a magnificent centerpiece for its neighbors.
I mean, that guy through the scroll is not.
The second stone knight in a row of 4 lay on the church floor. A stone knight lay on the church floor. A knight there in the company of his fellows.
Well, we're gonna try all of them, but
A knight's tomb, his effigy in marble lying in perpetual state.
I think we get the idea, George. I just assumed that there might be one that's it's probably
Per disciplinum, a bit of a stain. Hoping had been.
yeah.
The statue had any secrets. Well, I could have just taken, but I wanted other than. The priest was still busy with the chalice, so I decided to have another look around the church. I didn't have time to sit around. waiting in prayer for the judgment day.
So I assume that one of these tombs is going to give me an extra clue.
Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess. Just think, there's a dead guy under there. I was surprised Philip Lebel had left this place alone. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work. I wondered if this guy had died in combat. I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
I'm sure that this needs to be probably broken off. I reckon it's got to be replaced with that at some point.
The statue. The priest was still busy with the chalice, so I decided to have another look around the church.
I mean, is there something that I've looked at everything. Oh, I see, right. Where's my mouse pointer gone? Make it a kaleidoscope.
The lens fitted into the end of the scroll like a hand into a glove.
Okay.
Hey! A Knight Templar burning at the stake, and a date. Let me see. MCCCXIV. That's 1314.
Is that good?
Hello again, Father. Hey, thanks.
It is my pleasure, monsieur.
What was the writing on the chalice?
It was not writing, my mistake. It was a coat of arms. The remarkable thing is that it seems very familiar.
Yeah?
Oui, I think I have seen it on that wall tomb in the far corner.
Oh,
That
okay.
winged horse is quite distinctive.
Did you know that the center window conceals an image of a man burning at the stake?
The burning man?
What, you knew?
That there was a hidden image? No. But the church has a reputation for being haunted.
Oh.
Many times, people have claimed to have seen a burning man in the window. But when others they look, there is nothing. Perhaps the light has to be just so for the figure to appear.
Yeah, or maybe you need a special lens. You must be proud to have such an incredible collection of stained glass.
Pride is a sin, monsieur, but it is a fine example of the artisan's genius.
Yeah, we know that.
Boy, what a shine you got on this!
Merci. It is all a new wrist action.
Boy,
Merci. Merci.
Whoops.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
So, is it going to tell me anything extra about the tomb in the corner?
Now that my attention had been drawn to it, there was no mistake. There was no name on it, but the coat of arms was undeniably the Pegasus of the De Vasconcelos family. I'd found the last resting place of Don Carlos. My eye was drawn to the biblical references carved into the edge of the tomb. Hey, maybe these biblical references mean something. Psalms 32:7, John 4:11, Corinthians 1:4-5, and just one more, Psalms 22:21. I may not be perfect, but I've got a memory like a steel trap. The chalice had led me to these inscriptions, but it looked like a happy coincidence to me. After all, the De Vasconcelos arms were already on the manuscript. Note, I was still convinced that the chalice had some significance all of its own. Just think, there's a dead...
Well, let's see if the priest knows about the mission.
Hello again, Father.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Boy,
Merci.
That's a no then.
catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
In French, English, and German. In 1312, Pope Clement and excommunicated its members on... In the following 2 years, their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine.
Don't think I'll need to speak to
You're back.
his face again.
I have returned.
Hello again.
Hello again, monsieur.
Well, I wasn't expecting to see you back here again.
No? Well, it is a strange thing, but I am here on duty.
On duty? But you're just sitting there drinking wine.
No, I am not just drinking wine. I am undercover.
I must be missing something. You're in uniform.
Precisely, monsieur. My cover is that of an indolent, wine-guzzling police officer.
You've got me convinced.
Merci. But in reality, my every muscle is poised, every nerve honed. I am drawn tight, ready to pounce. Dang!
Who or what were you planning to pizzang on?
You must have heard, monsieur, of the terror that is gripping Paris.
You mean the killings? Oh, at last, someone's taken action.
People die every day. No, I am on the trail of Sieur Jacques.
Who?
Sieur Jacques, the terror of the subterranean city. He pops up here, he pops up there. The cops, they seek him everywhere. Is he so hush or beneath the neck? That damned elusive Sieur.
Bravo, that's very good.
Merci. I was up half the night writing that.
Who is this Sewer Jacques character anyway?
Ah, if we but knew that, we could have him in custody in an hour. But he is cunning. To despoil the sewers of our fair city, he has committed many deceptions. He has pretended to be a police officer and deluded a poor war veteran.
Oh.
He has pretended to be a jongleur
Wow, is that the time?
and an American tourist. What nationality are you, monsieur?
Canadian. Well, gotta go now. See ya. Well, it's not everyone who can say they started an urban myth.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so I don't think we've got anywhere to go there. Possibly again, do we show the polished chalice to this guy?
Hi, Andre. While I was in Syria, I discovered a strange pagan statue. It was like a head with 3 bearded faces. Horrible.
That sounds as if it could be Baphomet, the idol described by the Templars.
The poor Knights of Christ had an idol that looked like that?
Allegedly. The description of the idol came from the evidence extracted by the Inquisition. Mind you, not one statue or idol was ever found on Templar property. Until now, that is. Just last...
Where?
At the Institut Hermetique de Naval. The statue is beneath the foundations. It was discovered by some workmen while renovating the building.
Well, that's my next location then, I guess.
Can you tell me any more about the statue of Baphomet?
It's a fearful image, even now. A bearded head. The base of the statue is carved with Templar symbols. One of the workmen noticed a curious stain at the base. He claimed it looked like blood.
Blood?
That's right.
What do you make of this cup, Andre? It's a 14th century communion vessel. Spanish, probably. You sure know your onion.
Well,
Thanks for your help, Andre. You're welcome.
okay. Does that mean I've got somewhere else to go? No. Oh, hang on. That's new.
Excuse me, could you help me? What is it? I've got a few questions. What does the word Templar suggest to you? Templar? Nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
You're doing a fine job.
Merci. I have my professional pride.
I don't think I've ever seen a Gauloise smoked so stylishly.
It's a natural talent.
I'm being sarcastic.
I'm being indifferent.
You're very good at that as well.
Merci. Vive l'indifférence.
So, what are you doing here?
I am having my break.
Yeah, I mean, when you finish your break.
When I finish my break, an interesting concept, monsieur.
You'll probably need to think about it.
I could have another cigarette while I consider. Perhaps tomorrow too?
Okay, let me put things differently. What were you hired to do here?
I was hired to keep the archaeological dig in the basement of this building clear of debris, and to touch up damage to the door frames with my little pot of paint. It's a very responsible job.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm not a very responsible person.
So what do you know about the excavation?
I know they won't let me in to do my job. I would complain to my union, but
You couldn't be bothered to join.
right. Tell you what, though. I'm surprised at the sort of people interested in this excavation.
Really?
What's unusual about the visitors to the excavation?
None of them look like archaeologists to me.
Do you know what an archaeologist looks like?
3-piece suits, crocodile-eyed attaché cases, Rolex oyster.
But no archaeologist dresses like that.
Quite right, monsieur, quite right.
So, who are they?
Who cares as long as they pay me?
Was
Have you
one of
seen this
them
man before?
Yes, he asked me a lot of questions, just like you.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Yes, it's a communion chalice. I know, you know, I used to be an altar boy.
You?
Yes, me. What's so funny about that?
Nothing. Be seeing you.
Au revoir, monsieur.
I mean, it's not going to let me down here, is it? Okay. Fair enough. Who's this dude? We got a telephone, I got a door, got a guard, got a door, got a thermostat, got a door.
Hi? Excuse me?
Oui?
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
There was a long pause during which the guard said nothing. Then he said, nothing.
Nothing at all?
Is this a test?
What, like a history pop test?
No, like a test.
Okay, yes, it's a test.
Then I know absolutely nothing about the Templars. The guard was
Sure.
being amazingly evasive. It was going to take more than goodwill to get past him.
So, what exactly are you doing here?
I'm guarding. You expect to find me shearing sheep?
Take it easy, I just didn't realize you were a guard.
Well, perhaps we're going to change the thermostat to kind of
I'd like to know what you're guarding, please.
make it
That's
more
a
comfortable.
secret.
It wouldn't happen to be an archaeological site, would it?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm telling you.
Then why ask?
I had a feeling this was no normal hole in the ground. I thought better of showing. He might be on the conspiracy's payroll, and I didn't want to risk it.
Oui? You have...
A sudden urge to sing. Care to join me?
No, no singing in here.
Have you seen this man before?
Oh,
You have.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recognize this name?
Merlin. No.
I've got a red nose.
Oh,
Talk to you later.
au revoir, monsieur.
I couldn't imagine what I'd achieved by turning the dial. The doorway led to an old utility closet that had lost its door. There was nothing interesting in there.
Okay.
There was a closed door with toilet scratched into the cheap veneer.
That door's locked, monsieur.
Do you mind if I use the phone?
Be my guest. I'm paid to guard this door. The phone can look after itself.
Hi, Nico?
George, what have you discovered?
Nothing yet.
Nothing. Is something wrong?
No.
George, why are you calling me?
Oh, no reason. I just wanted to hear your voice.
You did. Well, this is my voice saying, don't bother me, I'm busy.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep, that was definitely debris. I couldn't see any use for a collection of dirt and half bricks. I didn't think that the guard would just let me waltz past. Besides, I had a hunch that door was locked.
What have I got in my inventory?
Hi again.
What is it?
What?
I was gonna have to get rid of this thing. It was dead.
Well, it was worth a try. What else we got? I don't actually see anything. I can't unlock the door. Must be something else I need in my inventory, I'm guessing. I didn't see the dumpster there. Don't think that's going to have anything.
Hey, you! Get away from my dumpster. Hey, monsieur! Get away from my paint pot! Okay. I should think so. Meddling with a man's paint pot. What?
Well, what if I put plaster of Paris in his paint pot?
Hey, monsieur! Get away from my paint pot! Okay. I should think so. Meddling with a man's paint pot. What?
The painter had a pot of gunmetal gray primer hanging from the barrier. The archway was topped by a fancy balustrade. Oh, darn. I'd left my grappling hook at home. No way could I get up there.
Okay.
Hi, it's me again.
What now?
Well, there's nothing else
Be
to
seeing
talk
you.
to him
Au
about.
revoir, monsieur.
Let's see if I've missed something.
Hi again.
What is it? Trying to get into a locked washroom. I had the strongest feeling of deja vu.
I'd like to use the washroom, but the door's locked.
Oh, that's no problem. You can have the key.
Thanks.
Okay.
Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
I just gave them back.
I need to use the toilet again.
Again? Already?
I have this problem. How technical do you want me to get?
Never mind. Here's the key.
I didn't think it was just going to give them back.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Right. Into the toilet again. It's a shovel.
Capacious as my pockets were, I didn't figure I could cram a shovel in them. I didn't want to use that unless I really had to.
Surprised that
I
worked.
wasn't that interested in what might go into a restroom's garbage to investigate. Being in a
Not playing.
charming comfort station like this made me think fondly of the toilet in Syria. That place was kept in pretty good order. At least, it had been until I vandalized it. Still, it was all for a good cause. I could have climbed onto the sink, prized the ventilator cover loose, wedged myself into the tiny hole, smashed the far cover out, and plunged headfirst into the next room. Or I could just go through the door like a sane person.
Yeah. Soap.
The cold tap's washer looked to have failed. It was just dribbling down the sink.
Is that going to be significant? Am I going to paint the soap or something?
Hi again. What is it? What was I supposed to say? Hey, look what I...
What happens if I leave with
Talk
the
to you later.
keys?
Oh,
He's just gonna...
Monsieur, don't go with my keys.
Okay. We need to give him the keys.
what is it? Here's the keys. Thanks. Merci, monsieur.
Oh, don't know. There's a wheelbarrow.
Hey, monsieur!
Okay.
I should think so.
A well-used wheelbarrow was sitting by the rubble-filled dumpster. I couldn't climb over.
Well, you go through the gate, surely. Like a normal person.
Hi again. What is it? I need to use the toilet again.
Again? Already?
I have this problem.
Hmm,
Right.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
I mean, there's a lot of things where I think there's red herrings and stuff. It gets you to kind of look at objects and go, well, is that shovel going to be significant? Why would I need a shovel? But apparently we can press a key into a bar of soap.
I made an impression of the big key in the cake of soap. I didn't want any...
Oh, and then we use that with the plaster?
I carefully sprinkled the plaster into the soap mold I'd made of the key.
And then we use that with the tap. Okay. And then we give him back the key. The fake key.
Well, it had taken a while, but I had made myself a completely unconvincing plaster key. Way too fragile to use in a lock. I'd have to substitute it for the real one. Trouble was, it looked like plaster and not metal. Then again, that plaster statue in Syria hadn't looked like stone until I'd been a bit artful with it. Maybe I could improve the key as well.
So perhaps we're going to put it with the coal. Or
The thing felt really hot. Big demands seemed to be being made on it.
I mean, I can't give it to him because it would just give it away, no? Hide the keys down the toilet.
No way. No way.
See, I think I've got to dip it in his paint pot, I think.
What is it? Here's the keys. Thanks. Merci, monsieur.
Because it said grey, didn't it?
Hey, monsieur! Get away from my paint pot!
Okay.
I should think so. Meddling with a man's paint pot. What?
Unless there's something else I got to do with him.
Hi, it's me again.
What?
Have you ever seen anything?
Yes, it's a... I know, you know.
You?
Yes.
We know that.
Hi, it's me again.
What now?
I was pretty sure the shaken shock had shot its bolt in Syria.
Killer.
Hi, Nico. It's me. I'm at the excavation site.
Goodbye, George.
No, wait a minute. I need your help.
What kind of help? I told you I'm busy.
This will only take a few minutes, I promise.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
I want you to keep somebody on the phone for a while.
Who?
A painter. I need to get at his pot.
Oh, okay.
Stay on the line. I'll go and get him.
Right. So that distracts him. And then dip
Hi,
the
it's me
key.
again.
What now?
Phone
You've
call
got
for
a
you.
phone call.
For me? Are you certain?
It's a woman. She sounded hot.
What woman? She must be mistaken, monsieur.
Well, she asked for that hunk of a man with the nicotine fingers and his ass hanging out of his pants.
Certainly sounds like me. Stand back. It wouldn't do to keep the lady from her hunk.
Okay. See, that's one of the, I suppose, the tropes of this kind of genre is that everything requires distraction of some at some point.
Well, monsieur, what a strange woman. She was all over me, and then suddenly, nothing but abuse.
Really?
What? Abuse? Ah, well, I had a cigarette to finish. And monsieur, if she calls again, I am not available.
Okay.
Hi again.
What is it?
Now, this is going to be the flaw in the thing. Is I'm going to
I
take
need
the
to
key.
use the toilet again. Again? Already?
I have this problem.
I was going to actually use it in front of him.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
But I'm going to go through here. Because I don't really want to waste time. So what if I use that with that?
Quickly and without fuss, I
we
swapped
go.
the fake key for the real thing. What is it? I couldn't give him the keys. The false key looked pretty convincing, but it felt exactly like what it was. Painted plaster. He was bound to detect it.
Well, okay. It probably means that it needs something to do with coal then. No.
No way.
I mean, I've already done that. But either way, he's going to ask for the key back if I...
Hi again.
What is it? I couldn't give him the keys. He was back. After the amount of trouble I'd been through to get that key, I wasn't about to share with the guard how clever I'd been.
Okay, so does that mean I can't leave because that means I'm going to have to give him the key back?
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur. I figured I'd best not bother Nico again until I'd got a good reason.
And I can't speak to him again.
Hi again.
What is it?
I thought better.
He might. Oui? No?
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur. I didn't think that I had a hunch that door was locked.
It's not going to let me...
Hey! Monsieur! Don't go with my keys! Hey! Monsieur! Don't go with my keys!
Do I put the key in there? Because it won't let me give the bunch of keys back.
What is it? I couldn't give him the key. The false key looked pretty convincing, but it felt exactly like what it was. Painted plaster. He was bound to detect it.
So there's got to be something else I need to do to it. No? It's George Stobart. Thank you for joining me, George. So I can't leave here. I have a fake key. I think I've tried most of the objects.
I couldn't imagine what I'd achieved by turning the dial. The doorway, there was nothing interesting.
I mean, it's a pity I can't put it in the furnace or something. It won't let me give back the key. I can't get out of this room. But I've apparently got to make the key more key-like. And I've tried using it. Yep, first time playing Broken Sword. I used to... I think I got just as far as the demo let me. Way back. When I was playing the original. And I'm not very good at point and click games, really. They can sometimes be a bit obscure.
Capacious as my pockets were.
See, I thought I had to dip that in the coal, but it won't let me. Tab is what does tab do? Oh, is that what the original was? Oh my god. I never knew that. Well, it's definitely improved. Definitely improved. Not the key in the bin. Is there something I'm missing?
There was a big old boiler used for heating the building.
Right. Why is that significant? Won't let me use the shovel. That would be sacrilege, wouldn't it? No. I mean, last time I used that with that
No.
to make something more realistic. I don't know. Just reading a couple of hints to see if it can point me in the right direction. But it says I can't use the thermostat. But I'm thinking that there is something I've got to do to distract him. Try changing
Hi
the
again. What is it?
texture of the key. We can find a way to make sure the guard doesn't feel that the key is made of plaster. Well, I mean, there is something to do with the thermostat, so changing the temperature of the
Talk to you later. Au revoir, monsieur.
the place.
A thermostat was mounted over a radiator. The radiator was pumping out heat as the thermostat was cranked right over to full. No wonder it was warm in here, even with the door open to the chill of fall. Hi again. What is it?
Ah, there we go.
It sure is hot in here. I have to have the door open to allow the workmen access, so why not? I turn the heat up. You could wrap up warm. I have my gloves if it gets cold, but why bother when it's warm anyway?
Right.
Talk to you later. Au
So
revoir,
does that
monsieur.
mean it's gonna let me do something now? There we go.
I turned the heating off.
Right, so he can't feel the key. That's the thing.
What is it? I held my breath and hoped that he wouldn't notice the substitution. Here's
I
the
see.
keys. Thanks. Merci, monsieur.
Right, so I've got to distract him somehow, but I don't know how. I can actually leave now.
Hi, Nico. It's me again.
I'd guessed. What do you want this time?
What did you say to the painter?
I shan't repeat it, Josh.
Look, I need to get the guard out of the way. Could you call back and ask him to get the painter again?
Okay, I'll call back soon.
I'll answer the phone then. Okay. We're making progress.
This looked like a good place to watch things develop.
Well, no, surely you should go downstairs. You want to get in the door.
you! It's the fun. Yeah?
It's the fun.
How should I know? What am I, your social secretary? It's not a chick, is it? Yes, it's a woman. Are you going to answer it? Does she have a warm, sensual voice like molten chocolate? Yes, she has a really sexy voice. Now get a move on. I'm not talking to her. I can see that. You're wasting time talking to me. No, you don't understand. I refuse to talk to her. You refuse? You refuse? I'm wasting valuable time. Don't make me laugh. Your time valuable? You just stand around all day. I have a highly responsible job. Ha! Don't! Me, you elephantine oaf? My job is important. Impossible. They would have hired somebody competent in that case. Meaning what? Instead of which they hired a dismal rent-a-cop like you.
Wow.
All epaulettes and no brains.
Why, you... This looked set to carry on for some
Fight!
time. It was too good an opportunity to miss.
Fight, 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 fight. Oh gosh, that does look terrible, doesn't it? Usually when things are remastered, it's like not as dramatic as that. But that is very dramatic. I bought most of the Broken Sword games in the in a GOG sale.
I couldn't see anything useful to do with the planks.
So I'll be going through them at some point. Bones? There's that statue thing again. And it said there was blood on the floor.
Now there's a familiar face. There was no doubt about it. It was the same sort of idol I'd seen in Syria, Baphomet. The Templars had certainly been through here. close up, the pattern didn't make any sort of sense. It fanned out around an axis point, a kind of focus to one side.
I mean, back then when this game came out, it was probably like 640 by 480.
In the middle of the floor was a weird mosaic, all swirling and distorted.
I can't remember if there's any of the other
No,
games that...
thanks. I think I'm carrying enough junk. Oh, great. More dead people. Although the gendarmes weren't likely to pull in any suspects unless they had a time machine. This guy must have been here for centuries.
I don't know if they remastered any of the other ones. That was a pure guess.
And there it was, decoded by the curves of the chalice.
Wow.
The image of a church.
Meanwhile...
I found out what the chalice was for.
You solved the puzzle?
Yeah, there was a distorted picture at the Baphomet site. When I viewed it in the polished surface of the chalice, it changed.
What did it show?
A picture of a church with a square tower.
Well, I'm sure the style of these games have probably changed over the years. I imagine they've made
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
quite a few little adjustments to bring it up to date-ish. Because this came out, I think, 1996. Something like that. I don't think there's anything extra that she's going to tell me.
That's the face of the statue I saw at the bull's head. That's the lens I found.
Yeah.
That's the clue that led me to Spain. That's the clue that led me to the statue of Baphomet and the reflection in the chalice. That's the clue that led me to the bull's head in Syria. That's the clue that...
Okay. Okay.
I guess I'd better return the chalice to the Countess.
Hurry back, George.
Well, that gives me my next thing to do. We're going back to Spain. For a reporter that never has any money, he went to Syria with nothing. He's making a lot of trips at his own expense.
I'd been planning to return the chalice anyway, but I hadn't expected the trail to bring me here. The Villa de Vasconcelos was as picturesque as ever. The weather was still clear, and Lopez was still watering the damn lawn. I was beginning to suspect that he was surgically attached to that hose. Hi there, Lopez. How's tricks?
Senor Stobart, how pleasant to see you. You are well.
Fine, thanks.
What?
Is the Countess in?
She is waiting for you. I will show you up.
It's okay, I know the way.
Senor Stobart, I feel I owe you an apology.
No, you don't.
I was impolite on our first meeting.
Look, Lopez, just forget about it. I came on like a snake oil merchant. I wouldn't have trusted me in your shoes.
You do not understand. Finding the chalice has given my lady a new lease of life. It's a marvel. She smiles, she laughs. The tradesmen are saying that she is on Prozac.
And George hasn't changed his clothes for this entire game. I mean, they've kept the style quite well. But, don't really want to go through to the place where all the dogs are.
Senor Stobart. Oh, what a pleasure. Please, sit down.
Hi, Countess. The pleasure's all mine. I brought back your chalice.
Ta-da!
Why? You've had it cleaned.
Yeah, I met an obliging priest with a soft cloth.
Have
Who,
you resolved the Templar mystery?
No, not yet. I don't even know what it is I'm after.
There are
Neither
many
do I.
stories of the knights secreting great wealths away.
Whatever. All I know is I don't want the bad guys to get it.
Ah, to be young and live in a world of moral absolutes.
Right, what do you know?
There's something else that I discovered carved on Don Carlos's tomb. Biblical references.
What are the references, Senor Stobart?
Psalms 32:7, Corinthians.
I am not a good enough scholar to know the Bible chapter and verse. I meant, what are the quotations?
You know, I forgot to ask the priest. I discovered something amazing with that chalice. In Paris, I found a church where they recognized the coat of arms. I found the tomb of Don Carlos de Vasconcelos.
You are sure? There can be no mistake?
The coat of arms on the chalice matches the one on the tomb.
Incredible. You have my most profound thanks. I must go there as soon as possible.
Yeah? Well, I'd be happy to show you the city.
I mean, didn't he speak to the priest? He said nothing about the quotations. So,
Do you recognize this man?
No, I have never seen him before in my life. Who is he?
I've got a couple of names for him, but they're probably false. He's the killer.
No, his face is utterly unfamiliar.
Does this lab pass mean anything to you?
Nothing at all.
I'll have a look around if that's okay.
My home is your home. I shall remain here.
It was way too warm to light the fire.
okay.
An old grandfather clock stood against the wall. There was a bookcase, bureau kind of affair. I didn't recognize any of the titles, apart from an ancient edition of Don Quixote. I doubted the Templars had hidden anything in there.
More clues, then.
I didn't want a pot plant. It was just a little utility room with no exit, unless you counted the window, and I didn't.
Can get mauled by dogs. Yep. Oh, surely I can then go to the to this, to the mausoleum.
Mausoleum, summer house. Easy mistake to make.
I mean, don't walk too fast, will you, George? Jesus. Oh, I've got some game overs, yeah. I've been shot several times.
George Stobart, grave robber. No, I don't think so.
Well, we can read the frickin' Bible, no?
The chess pieces had been removed, and the Bible returned to its resting place. The candles had been lit.
The Countess's way of saying thanks to her ancestors, I guess.
Well, I now have a Bible.
It was the Spanish Bible I borrowed from the mausoleum.
So we're just going to steal the Bible, are we?
Hanging from the ceiling was a huge yellowed candle. It looked really old and had never been lit.
Not sure. So I came all this way just to get a Bible, and I'm going to go home, am I? Seems a bit... Ooh, I forgot what my mouse pointer was. Or... what happens if I show the Bible to her?
Hello again.
Please.
Here's the Bible from the mausoleum.
Very well. Let us begin. The first
There you go.
reference.
Psalms 32:7.
Thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance. My hiding place.
Don't get your hopes up too high. This might just be leading us to where we found the chalice.
You are right, of course. The next.
Okay, John 4:11.
John 4:11. Here. The well is deep. The next. Quickly.
Okay. Corinthians 4:5.
Here it is. Will bring to light the hidden things. Any more?
Just one. Psalms again. 22:21.
Save me from the lion's mouth, for thou hast heard me from the horns of the unicorns.
What?
The last is confusing. Lions, unicorns, what does it mean?
I can't guess.
Salient points seem to be a hiding place and a deep well. In no sense is the mausoleum a well, Senor Stobart.
Is there a well in the grounds?
I do not know. I suppose that there must have been once upon a time. Lopez is the man to ask about anything pertaining to the estate.
We'll do that then.
I'll just have another look around.
Very well.
What is wandering around? The guides all said that this game finishes in 10 hours. I'm going a bit beyond that.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute? Certainly, senor.
Tell me about
What's the
stuff.
story behind the chalice vanishing?
When the Inquisition raided, in the absence of Don Carlos, it was believed that they had taken it. Naturally, they denied the charge, as they denied taking the children. And naturally, nobody believed them.
But they were telling the truth. The chalice was hidden from them. You don't suppose they were telling the truth about the children as well, do you?
Madre de Dios! I had not thought of that. But then what happened to them?
I don't know. If the Inquisition didn't take them, then who did?
You must speak to my lady of these.
Count on it.
God's sake. Up and down, up and down.
So the Countess feels that the curse is lifted.
I would not put it so strongly. Your discovery of the chalice was proof that the Templars never abandoned the De Vasconcelos. It counts for a great deal with my lady.
You must know just about everything that there is to know about this place.
See, I have lived my whole life here in the service of the De Vasconcelos.
Do you know of a well anywhere around here?
Well, si, senor. This used to be a fortified villa. How can you last a siege without water?
Great. So where is it?
How should I know? The well was covered over in the last century. It was dangerous, you see.
And you have
Uh-oh.
no idea where it was?
None. It was hidden even before my grandfather's time.
Well, you must have a vague idea of where the well is.
It must have been in the old house's courtyard, so that would put it around here.
Here? Okay. Now, how do we find it?
There might be a way. Let me think about it.
Any ideas yet?
Not as yet, Senor Stobart. I shall give it more thought.
Catch you later, Lopez.
Adios, Senor Stobart.
Okay, back up the stairs again. Jesus.
Hello again.
Please.
There's still the mystery of the missing chess piece.
I do not think that it will ever be discovered unless the fate of the children is revealed.
The Inquisition were suspected of taking the chalice and the kids, right? We know now they were innocent of the first crime. What if
They did not take the children either. Then what happened to them?
the Inquisition admitted to killing Don Carlos's manservant? Now, this guy had been told to protect the kids at all costs, right?
That is correct.
I think he hid them and the chalice when he got wind that the Inquisition was coming. With him dead, and Don Carlos driven mad with grief, there was nobody left who knew the secret. You know what this means, don't you?
I fear so. The children are still here somewhere. If this is so, then it is small wonder that the De Vasconcelos are cursed.
They're all buried in the well. That's
I'll have a look around if that's okay.
My home is your...
probably going to tell me to sod off about the well.
Hi, Lopez.
Certainly,
Any ideas yet?
not as yet, Senor Stobart. I shall give it more thought.
Catch you later, Lopez.
There's something else I need to do.
It was just a little utility room with no exit, unless you counted the window. And
Oh. I must have just looked at that before. Why would I need to use a mirror and what on?
I came here to solve a mystery, not go jousting. From the window, I could see some sort of balcony. It didn't look like it was used too often. From the window, I could see the garden, including Lopez, who was still watering the damn thing.
wonder if, well, using the mirror on something in the mausoleum, perhaps. That seems the only kind of significant. Well, I haven't done anything to make him talk to me, have I?
Hi, Lopez.
Certain?
Any idea?
Not as
Catch you later.
Hang
adios.
on.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certain?
I borrowed your mirror.
No, senor. If you think
Oh,
Catch you
okay.
later, Lopez.
adios, senor Tobar.
Okay. What can we use the mirror on in the mausoleum? Walk so slow. I mean, it doesn't mean that the mirror has to be used here, but why would he take the mirror and steal it and take it back with him? Just noticed I hadn't actually looked at that outside.
The De Vasconcelos Mausoleum, where 5 Templars lie. I didn't want to mess with the building. It looked kind of sinister. Over the doorway was a statue of a hooded figure bearing a cross.
Fair enough. Nope. Nope. Okay. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
I couldn't reach up there.
Well, you use the pole, you pillock.
Hanging from the ceiling was a huge yellowed candle. It looked really old and had never been lit.
See, it only lets me look at the candle once I've got the pole. But when I press the candle, it goes back.
I couldn't reach up there.
Well, I can't leave with it. Right, time to use all my objects. What? Okay.
No, that wasn't a bright thing to do with a fire on a stick. I decided I need to.
I just have a feeling that that is going to blow the candle out, so that's the reason I need to close the window.
I couldn't climb up there without breaking something.
So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Gonna light it. Gonna light the candle. Progress. Thank you for coming. Hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. Oh, what's this?
The candle had burnt brilliantly, but only for a couple of minutes. Some kind of special formulation, I guess. And had yielded up this. A complex shape expertly cut in stone. I figured it was some kind of key. It was a smooth, intricately carved piece of stone that had been concealed inside the great candle.
Well, I'm guessing we're going to show it to both him and her. I was hoping to finish this game today, but we'll get there, I think. Hopefully it won't be too dramatic towards the end. And again, I did check some of the chapters, and I know there's a couple of chapters after this. So.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly,
Do you know what this is?
no, senor. Is it some kind of key?
Yeah, I think it probably is.
Where did you get it?
It was hidden inside the big candle in the mausoleum.
And you burnt it? I wondered what the light was I saw through the window. My lady will be furious. The candle was centuries old.
Ah. Any ideas yet?
We are looking.
Yes?
For generations, the Spanish country folk have had a secret way of locating water, even if it is meters beneath the ground.
Ah, you're not talking about water dousing, are you?
Eh?
You know, you get a stick and walk around until the stick twitches and dig there.
Oh, you've heard of it.
Yeah, I think most of the planet has. Okay, let's get a stick.
Uno momento. It must be a special stick. A Y of hazel.
Right. Do you have any hazel trees?
See, here. That is hazel.
What?
Catch you later, Lopez.
Adios, Senor Tobar.
I went over to find a suitable stick.
I don't believe it. There wasn't a single usable Y-shaped branch on the whole damn thing.
Okay. Well, we're possibly going to be searching for a tree.
Hello again. Mind if I sit?
Please.
Yes, yes, yes.
What do you make of this?
It looks like some sort of key. Where did you get it from?
It was buried inside the great candle in the mausoleum.
Inside it. What have you done to it?
I, lit it.
But it is irreplaceable.
Listen, the candle was to be lit in case of Moorish attack, right? Well, it burnt down in no time and revealed this key thing. Maybe that was the real purpose of lighting the candle.
What are you suggesting?
that lighting the candle was the equivalent of break glass in case of emergency.
Sentiment must not stand in the way of solving this mystery. You did the right thing.
Are you sure?
What do you make of this?
It is the stone key that you
I'll just have another look around.
Very well.
Okay, so we're gonna probably find another hazel key. Hazel tree. I did expect them to be a hazel tree somewhere. Not missing anything, am I? There's one there. Oh, shrugging his shoulders. Hazel tree.
I went over to find a suitable stick. Aha!
Okay. Right, so I'm guessing I show the stick to him and he's gonna douse for some water or something. What are you doing? Where are you going? I never said go all the way over there.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certain
Well, I got my divining rod. Now what?
simplicity itself, senor. Hold the wand at the upper ends of the Y. Apply a little tension with your wrists so that the slightest movement of the wand's tip is clear, and walk slowly and steadily over the area.
Sounds easy enough. We'll find this well in no time.
A few moments later.
Senor Stobart, you've found something.
This is it. This is where we find the secret of the Templars. Hidden here for hundreds of years. Lost from the sight of man until now. The mystery is revealed.
It's
Okay,
a tin
George.
can.
I've been walking up and down with a twig in my hands, looking for a tin can.
It had water in it. That's what the dowsing stick must have detected.
I'd have to check with an archaeologist, but I don't think the Templars left that.
In truth, Senor Stobart, the loan was laid many, many years ago. This can could date back to the Napoleonic Wars.
Get rid of it and I'll try it again. Lopez threw the can away. It seemed to fall an awfully long way. The splash at the end confirmed what we both suspected. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
It has been here all the time. All those years and nobody found it.
Stood in awe for a moment, marveling at the secrets all around us.
I could have fallen down that.
Well, there you go. Uh-oh. Okay.
The well had been lost for decades at least. The air was cool after the noon sun, but that's not what gave me goosebumps. I have a really, really bad feeling about this.
'Cause of course you do.
Sometime in antiquity, there'd been a rock slide. Big ones. I wished I'd had a hard hat. I'd need tools to move all that stuff. Heavy equipment that just wasn't available.
I'm not doing that then. Oh! Isn't there a lion on the manuscript? It just mentioned a lion in the,
From a distance, the lion's
Thing.
head had been impressive. Close up, it was frightening. Hey, one of the fangs is a separate piece. I could hear the sound of a lot of stone moving, and I knew I was in danger.
He's dead! I mean, I wanted to see what would happen. I was going to press on that, but I thought, no, I want to see this play out.
From a distance, the lion's head had been impressive. Close
Yes,
up,
yes.
It was, hey! I could hear the sound of a lot of stone, and I knew.
Ooh, there we go.
Oh, very funny, you psychos!
Okay.
Senor Toba! Senor Toba! Are you all right?
It's okay, Lopez, I'm fine!
Hey, Tuto, mi alzada! You gave me a scare!
Nice try, Templars.
See, what I find with this game in particular, or just point and click games, is because of the conversation, the lines they gotta have. They will say one thing, and then they will say another thing. Not very close together, so it seems a very disjointed conversation. Because normally, when you're having conversation, you will sometimes overlap a little bit. That's why sometimes it maybe feels a little bit unnatural, or a little bit kind of like, oh, you say this and then you say that, and you're just like, come on.
I
now.
wished that I had Leary's flashlight now. It just felt like a pitted stone wall. I'd almost been killed for the sake of a red herring. In the deep shadows, it was hard to make anything out.
Right, so we need to possibly go up and ask to see if he's got a light. I don't think it was a red herring. I think we've got to come back down and light it up.
Hi, Lopez. There's something I'd like to talk to you about.
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
It's really dark down there. Do you have a flashlight or something?
No. I broke my torch only last month.
Damn. It's so bright up here, but the light's just not getting into the corners.
See, The light, it goes in straight lines.
Yep.
I borrowed your mirror.
No, senor. If you think it...
Catch you later, Lopez.
Adios, Senor Tobar.
I want to go down the well.
Hi, Lopez.
Settle.
How
Catch
do
you
I
later,
get down the
Lopez.
well?
Adios, Senor Tobar.
Ah, there we go. So, let's use the mirror. Prop it up here, perhaps. Oh no, there we go. Didn't realise it was a... Maybe put it here.
There, in the middle of the door, I could see some kind of socket.
It looked like this wasn't quite the dead end it seemed.
Okay. Making progress. You sometimes just got to pay
Now
attention
I
to
knew
the
what I was looking
dialogue.
for. It only took a few moments to find it. And there it was. A worked socket, as smooth and perfect as if it had been carved only yesterday. Now I knew what I was looking for. It only... And there it was.
Oh, okay. I wasn't paying attention. Stone key, stone socket. Because they give you little
Open sesame!
little
Another secret
sprinkles
door.
of hints. Just sometimes need to pay attention. And that sometimes my problem. A fucking chess piece? Please don't say there's going to be spiders.
Before I left, though, there was one last thing to do.
You
Give her the
won't be
chess
needing
piece.
that replacement piece anymore, Countess.
Ta-da!
I found it with the children. You'll probably want to be alone for a while. I'll be out in the garden with Lopez.
Are we saying that the children are down the well? What?
George, welcome back.
Come in, George. It's good to see you again.
Is it?
Sure. What did you find in Spain?
Without Andre, we wouldn't have got this far, George.
I still don't like him.
Yeah, I know.
I still don't like him. I think he's a double agent or something.
The clues led to an underground chamber at the bottom of a well. The Templars had left a tapestry showing a chessboard. The white pieces were vastly outnumbered. There was a stream running across the board, and a Templar knight on a horse.
Does it mean anything to you, Andre?
No, nothing.
Maybe we
Sure.
should tell Andre what else you found, George.
There's a map and a Latin inscription to the west at the edge of the world.
George found that in a cave in Syria.
Yeah, where the assassin almost killed me.
Then we've got the burning of Jacques de Molay and the date, 1314.
From the window of the church in Montfaucon Square, one of the few places where nobody tried to kill me.
Then we have the image of a church that George found at the excavation. I don't recall anyone trying to kill you there either, George.
And finally, we have the tapestry in Spain. Did I mention I almost got killed there?
Not yet, but I'm sure you're about to.
It was only my cat-like reflexes that saved me from certain death.
Cat-like reflexes, eh?
And while I was risking life and limb, where were you, Andre? Getting your glasses fogged up over an Etruscan vase?
That's enough, boys. Can we get back to saving the world?
Of course. My apologies.
He started it.
Well, the Latin phrase are the words of Julius Caesar. He was describing the island of Britain.
Are you sure? The map didn't look much like Britain.
It did.
Caesar described Britain as being at the edge of the world.
To the Romans, the Mediterranean was the center of the universe. Britain was a remote, unfriendly place, inhabited
is.
by blue-painted savages.
It hasn't changed much,
They stopped painting themselves blue.
except when they go to a football match.
They used an extract from a plant called woad, Icetis tinctoria. The Scots were using it until fairly recently in the wars with the English.
Fairly recently? I don't recall the Scots being at war with the English. How recently are you talking about?
I believe William Wallace's men used it in the 13th century. They might well have been using it as late as
You can't remember, can you?
1314.
Ah, we're back onto that, are we?
André, what is it? What do you mean?
1314 in Scotland. The Battle of Bannockburn.
That would explain the stream on the chessboard. That's what a burn is. Right, Andre? As in Bannockburn?
Right, George. And it gets better. Tradition has it that the Scots were helped by a shock force of, well, can't you guess?
Knights Templar?
Yes, a group of outlawed Templars. They are said to have turned the tide for the Scots.
And it all ends at a church in the Isle of Britain at Bannockburn in a church.
What
In
are
the
we
Isle
waiting
of
for?
Britain?
I'll call a cab.
The Isle of Britain? Well, I suppose it's the British Isles.
I
but
can't
still.
go.
Andre, you've been loads of help, but
What George is trying to say is that you shouldn't feel guilty.
I was.
We understand you've got commitments. But listen, we have to hurry. Let's go, George.
We'll see it through. Oh, and, don't worry about us.